Today, many in Britain are getting a foretaste of what's going to be the new normal as #climate change takes hold. Storm Babet is carrying so much water because it has gathered so much energy from the North Atlantic. A quick explainer of what's happening and what will happen. Let's start with Storm Babet. Over the summer, we saw an unprecedented rise in the surface temperature of the North Atlantic and oceans worldwide. Now, some will argue that is due to a change in the fuel being used in ships so they produce less sulfur dioxide, a gas that has the opposite effect to greenhouse gases, causing less of the sun's energy to reach the surface of our planet. While there's certainly cause for the assumption that it has had an effect, the trend for warmer oceans predates the change in fuel. And climate change isn't about short-term changes, it's about long-term trends. The upward trend is clear and is starting to look exponential. That's an incredibly worrying sign. So the sea is warmer, so what? Well, heat is simply a form of energy. That energy is slowly released into the atmosphere. That energy is what drives our weather systems. It shouldn't surprise you that more energy is more energetic weather, or storms as we tend to call them. Energetic air moves faster and is warmer, heat energy. Warmer air can carry more water vapor, which falls as rain. Now, weather is far more complex than that, but we don't all need a meteorological degree to understand what it means. It means bigger storms with stronger winds and larger rainfall. Hence the unprecedented levels of rainfall parts of the UK and Europe are seeing today. But that's just today. What about tomorrow? Well, as big as Storm Babet is, it has only taken a minuscule amount of that heat energy out of the North Atlantic. And as the northern hemisphere cools with winter, that energy will be released. Accurately predicting the weather beyond a couple of weeks is all but impossible, and I'm not foolish enough to try and do so. But I will say that the probability of many more large, possibly unprecedented storms hitting the UK over the next 6 months is significantly higher than normal. We are likely to see numerous storms strong enough to cause wind and flooding damage, and if we're unlucky and one of those storms hits cold air over the UK, we'll see snowfall on a scale not seen in a generation or more. What, snow? That proves it's not global warming, right? No, the opposite. Because the effects of global warming aren't sunny days, warm springs, autumns, and a few hot summers. Not at all. The effects of global warming are felt in the extra energy it injects into our weather systems, and as we've learned, the more energy, the more extreme weather. Now, this next 24 months is, hopefully, a special time for Earth's weather systems as an unusually large El Niño spreads its wings over the world. But it's also a tiny taster of what's to come. A canapé served before a banquet, so to speak. Sadly for all of us, much of the chaos to come is already baked in. Failing some miraculous invention, there's no going back. But we still have the opportunity to come out of the 21st century with a livable planet. To achieve that, we must stop filling the atmosphere with greenhouse gases. We must stop as quickly as possible, because by the time we all agree on that imperative, it will be too late. So if you don't want your grandkids living the Mad Max lifestyle, we must act now. Written by Jason Pedlow.